Hello and welcome to day 54 of 73, and today I wanted to talk about capacity. Now, my wife's eldest sister's just had her third baby, which was towards the end of March, and a lot of the time they come and visit us, and I'm tasked with either playing Monster or playing a restaurant patron in the makeshift kitchen, or I'm running outside with them, but whatever the case may be, it's the girls and obviously my son as well, and we're always just playing around. And oftentimes my my wife or any one of the other adults, they ask if I'm okay, if I'm tired, if I need any more coffee, which sometimes I do. But one thing that I thought about today when they did come over and play was the capacity that I do have to fill those spaces now that I'm in this particular journey and I'm living this kind of lifestyle. I do remember when it wasn't always the case, where it would take me a lot more of a concerted effort to now show up or to be able to expend as much energy or to fill up as much space in those realms. And I thought a lot about whenever there were times that I would miss either drinking or maybe indulging in something that I wouldn't necessarily want to be indulging in, that the trade-off that I now have is being able to show up in a capacity that is far exceeding what I would have expected in any case. I mean, it's not just being able to spend time and play with them, but asking them questions, watching them grow, being able to feed in positively as a male figure in their lives is something that I cherish beyond what words could possibly describe. And it's a space that I feel I've naturally grown into, not only from the journey, but also for it being something that I've thought about for the longest time, even before I became a father or an uncle in that sense. So when it comes to capacity, one of the main thoughts that I think about is when one does start a journey to improve themselves, like there is naturally the goal of who you want to be and how you want to carry yourself. But I think the most rewarding parts of it is, at least for me, being able to show up in ways where previously you might not have felt that you had the wherewithal or the bandwidth per se to show up in those different kinds of ways. And I think that that has been quite a rewarding journey for me to not only realize that, but to perpetuate and replicate that in many different instances. I'm only thinking about this particular example because it was so recent, but I also find myself engaging in tougher conversations when I do have the time to, mind you, not to say that I'm out here seeking to ruffle feathers or to address things. And whenever they do come to me, I find myself being more regulated in my emotional stance and able to now engage in the most in my entirety and the most presence that I can be able to do so. And it's made me feel quite fulfilled and accomplished, because I don't think that when I embarked on this journey, I would have foreseen the level of energy and the level of understanding and commitment to these respective situations that I do have right now, that I realize it. And it's made me think a lot about how much more I can be able to expand and grow, because at every threshold, instead of me defaulting to the person that I used to be, I've now been insistent on pushing past that. I know I talked about being able to live in a growth mindset, and the resultant factor of that is being able to have that capacity of showing up as a completely different person. And I relish the opportunity of being able to encounter people that I knew before, or new people that have never had the chance to speak with or to meet me, and to show up as this kind of person. So a very chuffed post, and thank you for your time. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.